This list includes all the fragrances that I'm going to wear myself personally for this fall, plus an honorable mention because, you know, like I thought about putting it on the list and then I was like, yeah, you know. Let's get into it. So the honorable mention goes to the Armani Code EDP 2024. I love this fragrance a bunch. Smells very close to Armani Code Profumo. Of course, you know, like everything is modernized about it. New bottle. The note breakdown is, you know, very simple. It's just 3 notes. It has mandarin, nutmeg, and tonka beans, and you know, like the backbone of the code line essentially. Beautiful fragrance for colder weather. Sweet, seductive, alluring, but you know, the problem is that it's not on my list. If you are, you know, like a general user and you're trying to, you know, build your own collection, or you just have just one fragrance for fall and winter, this can be a very, very solid choice. Now, with this one out of the way, let's go to the actual list. A few years ago, we had a hype beast by the name of Halloween Man X. This fragrance was hyped to death. I don't know, like maybe 4 or 5 years ago. You know, everyone was talking about it. People were wearing it. It was everywhere. The hype died. I don't know, like, is it because of the clone fragrances, or, you know, this is just, you know, I just don't know why. This still smells great to me. It's a genuine compliment puller. It has very good performance, no problem in that area. It is very interesting. It has cardamom, lavender up top. It has, you know, some kind of like a black jacket accord. Has whiskey, coffee. No, it is famous for that, you know, like the roasted coffee deal. However, to me, it's not really roasted coffee. It's just coffee and burnt wood, like, if that makes any sense. Because when you smell it, you're like, especially like up top, it's very fresh, but on skin, it gets very dark and, you know, like smoky very quickly. But it is very interesting and unique still to this day. I don't know many fragrances that have, you know, this much of a, you know, like, how to say, like playfulness going on. It goes from fresh to dark to smoky. It has incense, amber. It is a very, very interesting fragrance. You should try it if you have not. And, you know, because the hype is dead, people kind of forget about it. But Halloween Man X still works, especially like if you like wearing like a leather jacket, or, you know, like some kind of like maybe a dark suit. This can work really, really well with that. Try it if you have not, and I'm going to be wearing this one myself as well. Let's go to one of my beloved creations from Bentley. This is Bentley For Men Absolute, you know, the full black bottle. Generally, when you talk about fall and winter fragrances with Bentley, people just immediately go to, you know, like Bentley For Men and Bentley For Men Intense. And these don't get any love, but Bentley has some fantastic, fantastic creations. And honestly, I do not understand why people are like this. You know, because, you know, like something gets hype and people like immediately forget that these exist. So Bentley For Men Absolute is a woody fragrance, period. Like through and through, it is woody. It has sandalwood, it has cedar, it has agarwood. It has some kind of like a very grown up vibe to it. Of course, it has some, you know, ginger and pepper up top, but like they don't really do anything. Oh man, sure, you get that, you know, like the pepper blast up top, you know, the pink pepper opens up very quickly, but it screams expensive. It's not, just, it is like that. It's very similar to Gucci Pouron 1. I do not have a bottle. My father used to wear that fragrance. Maybe he has it still. I don't know, like, probably he threw the bottle away, but if he has it. But it is very, very, you know, like, it's fresh in my memory. It's kind of like very nostalgic for me. This scent is very, very close to that. If you're 25 and older, you definitely can pull this one off. It is very grown up. It goes well dressed up with, you know, like maybe a shoe tie, you know, that kind of like a formal situation, a meeting. Man, great choice for fall. And again, it comes in a very nice bottle. Everything about this fragrance is very, very nice, but people often forget about them because, you know, like Bentley has some very overhyped fragrances. Honestly, I believe personally some of these fragrances are better than those that are super hyped, but you know, they don't get any love. But I'm here to give them some love. Definitely try them, and you know, for the price, steal, absolute steal. Just get it. You cannot have a designer lineup without Acqua di Giò. For me, Profumo is still better than this, but for the sake of the video and like a fragrance that is available for everybody to buy, I picked Parfum. There are a few problems I have with this fragrance, and we'll get to them shortly, but it is like a one fragrance collection to me. It's that good. Woo, man. So it has that, you know, classic Acqua di Giò deal to it. It has C notes. Bergamot up top opens very, very fresh, uplifting. It's very interesting. For the first timers, it like the first time people actually smell like an Acqua di Giò fragrance, they're like, wow, yeah. They are like blown away. Similarly, of course, you know, like I had that experience years and years ago, but still very, very interesting. It has rosemary. It has like a green mid. It doesn't have any incense, you know, listed at least as a note, but it smells very, not very, but like, oh yeah, very actually. It smells pretty close to, you know, Profumo. It just doesn't have incense as in like the actual literal meaning of the word, but it has some heft to it, has some depth, and you know, it is, wow, man. There's not much to say honestly about this fragrance other than, you know, like it's an Acqua di Giò. It's the heaviest version they have. I tried Elixir. I did not like it. I didn't even buy it. So, you know, I'm still using this one for this fall. Also, the performance, you know, I hear a lot of people, you know, in the different groups and, you know, different websites or whatnot, they say the performance is really hit and miss. I don't know, my bottle performs okay. It's nothing crazy. It's not like a beast mode fragrance, obviously, but on my skin, it lasts, you know, like a pretty good time. Maybe I get like 6 hours out of it on skin. Then it's, you know, sits close. In terms of projection, maybe the first hour. Again, it's not like a beast mode fragrance. You're not buying an Acqua di Giò these days, you know, to expect anything, you know, crazy or nuclear. They just smell great. Oh man, a fantastic choice. Honestly, get it and be done with it. And you know, like even from this list and any list, if you just want one fragrance, get an Acqua di Giò. Just, you're good. And you know, everyone in the community knows it. You cannot fight the reality, right? From a fragrance that is not beast mode to a fragrance that is super beast mode, this is one of the strongest fragrances, honestly, I have in my collection. Dude, this thing is potent and powerful. As you can see, like, I didn't wear it at all. I didn't wear it much because, you know, like, you don't really need it. Like, a puff is enough. Now, I do it for you guys. Damn, the atomizer. Woo! Crazy. So, man. So it has, to me, now I know it has a bunch of notes, right? I don't know like exactly what goes into it, but from what I, you know, smell, because, you know, with niche fragrances, they list like a bunch of notes, and, you know, like some people really, you know, how say, like they really try to dive deep into like each note. Like, I gotta really find that smell, but to me, it just doesn't work like that, especially with niche fragrances like Mancera and Menthol, you know, like very heavy, dense fragrances. To me, this fragrance opens up with a very effervescent cherry note. It just, you know, just jumps off your skin, screams that like, hey, I'm here, you gotta smell me. It is very prominent. That cherry note to me is just crazy. Now, it also has the, you know, it's called Tonka Cola. It has the Coca-Cola note. It is not really like a Coca-Cola note. I understand it when you smell it, you will too, but it's not like a direct, you know, like it's realistic actual Coke. It's more into, you know, like the powdery sweet kind of a deal. But yes, it is definitely a kind of like a cola involved in it. Now, the whole fragrance is again very, very sweet. It becomes very powdery very quickly. And you know, like there is no freshness to it. To me, it just stays linear and just, you know, like kills everyone around you. If you overspray this thing, do not do that. But if you want a fragrance that, you know, like you want people to smell you and you want to be noticed, that sometimes it may pull negative attention anyways, but you know, like who cares as long as, you know, you're being noticed, right? So if you're looking for something potent, powerful, nuclear, you know, in terms of performance, absolutely no complaints there. Try Tonka Cola. As I said, it has some green notes noted, but what I get is a very effervescent cherry followed by a very, very sweet, powdery cola deal. You know, like, yeah. So, pretty interesting. Again, it's not like a fragrance that I can say like it is very people-pleasing. It's, you know, very mass appealing. It's not. It's kind of like a polarizing scent, but all in all, it is great for pulling attention. You know, good or bad, who cares? Let's go to a personal favorite of mine. This fragrance is not very popular. It's called Alluring Fig from Theodorus Kalotinish. I always look at the name, you know, I don't want to mess up my friend's name because, you know, like he really puts a lot of thought into these fragrances, and I believe like how say like these smaller houses really pay attention to details. This is one of those. So it has 3 notes. It has fig, fig leaves, and vanilla. So that's about it. So the first thing you notice is that, you know, fig is very realistic. It's very well done. And, you know, like it's actually like picture realistic. It's that good. And it interestingly becomes lighter, you know, like when you spray it, you get the fig, more of the juicy fruit. Then you get the leaves. It's kind of like very green and very interesting. But reason I put in my, you know, fall list is because after a while, when the opening is kind of like vanished, you don't get any fig anymore. It's pure vanilla. It's sweet. It is very interesting. Actually goes both ways, you know. It may lean feminine for some people. I love it. Honestly, like people, you know, say like this fragrance is, you know, like very masculine, very feminine. To me, it just doesn't really matter as long as you love what you're wearing and you think it suits you, you're good. To me, it doesn't smell feminine at all, actually, but some people may argue. Again, very simple breakdown. There's not much to say about this fragrance, honestly, but it is just so good and very well suited. Like, imagine you spray it at home and, you know, like by the time you're ready to go out, it's already, you know, like in that beautiful vanilla accord. It's just like, oh man, great performance as well for such a tiny bottle. It's not that expensive either. It's an eau de parfum concentration, but you know, just works. Fantastic performance. All these fragrances have very good performance except for the Acqua di Giò. Again, it's not disappointing to me, at least my bottle is fine, but it is nothing, you know, to brag about. Again, 6 hours maximum with the Acqua di Giò, but the rest of them, very, very good performance in pretty much any season. So yeah. So guys, these are the fragrances that I'm going to be wearing myself for this fall. Let me know your list. Maybe if you have one of these fragrances, let me know how it's working for you. Drop in the comments. Subscribe if you have not. Helps the channel grow and I can bring more fragrances to you guys. Have a great day and night ahead, and I'll see you in the next one.